I'm Elizabeth Macdonald, web reporter for GC42. And here with me this evening to debrief what's happened on day 6 of this 42nd General Council is Janet Sigurdson from Saskatchewan, serving All Native Circle Conference, also coming on to the Aboriginal Ministries Council and the
Yes.
General Council Executive,
Yes.
and Rodney Smith-Merkley from Bay of Quinte Conference. You've been part of Dancing the Circle of Right Relations, a conference group that's been working for several years now.
Yeah.
Well, friends, we have a new moderator. It took us 5
Yes.
ballots,
Yes.
9 hours. Jordan Cantwell from Saskatchewan is our new moderator. I wondered if you'd have a word for our new moderator, a word of hope, a word of caution, a word of encouragement.
Well, I was behind her. I'm sorry to say that, but she came up and talked to me, and she never said vote for me. It was just asking issues that were, that were defined in my heart concerning Aboriginal people, and so she got my vote.
She got your vote.
She got my vote. She didn't put down anyone or push herself up. I'm sorry.
So
but
you
she-
are encouraged.
Oh,
you,
I am.
You are.
Yes.
You're excited about this. Rodney, would you have a word for our new moderator?
I didn't know Jordan coming into the council, but just really impressed with who she is, and I think she just totally was authentic to herself. And so that's the advice: is just continue to be authentic to who you are, Jordan, and I continue to inspire that hope, because she showed a lot of hope to the church in her presentation, and I think in her being. So just really exciting to have her as our new moderator.
All right. Well, much
and
of
she's young. I mean,
Yeah.
sorry, I interrupted.
no. Yes.
Yes.
She is a younger moderator for sure. Now, much of this morning was spent on the Truth and Reconciliation Commission and our United Church involvement, our ongoing United Church response. We had 2 powerful guests with us today. Dr.
Yes.
Marie Wilson, a commissioner on the TRC, and Perry Bellegarde, National Chief of the Assembly of First Nations. What stood out for you? What are you going to carry with you from what they had to say to the commissioners today?
I've been involved with that all of my life, to tell you the truth. Perry comes from my reserve.
Oh, really?
All right.
Yes.
Wow.
And not my reserve. He's Little Black Bear and I'm Papicases, and we do have Star Blanket and Okanese in there. But I grew up with that. My father was the one that really started Assembly of First Nations. His name was Walter Dieter, and he started up the National Indian Brotherhood. So
Wow.
growing up with this, and TRC, that's something that we talked about this within the church in the 90s, so it's coming to fruition. And so I'm excited about it. If someone wants to ask me questions, I certainly can respond. Yes.
Yeah. And for you, Rodney, anything from
I mean, I
what
thought-
they had to say?
I thought it was amazing to have the national chief here. So a different perspective from you, Janet, and First Chance. But I think it speaks to the depth of relationship and the
Yes.
work that United Church has been doing, for a long time now on this issue. Really clear challenge, invitation from Perry was to go and talk about, why a 2% cap on resources in First Nations communities when that doesn't keep up to the cost of living
Yes.
or the incredible population, boom within Aboriginal communities. So that was clear, and also to engage our candidates heading into the election on these issues. And so that was inspiring to hear that message, and just such humor too. It was like he was part of the family in some ways, and maybe that kind of connects
he's
back
cute.
to
He's,
yeah.
I don't think people understand that we do like laughing. We do, enjoy humor, because the racism, the policies that we meet are so negative that it's kind of like water off a duck's back later on. You have to laugh it off or else you're going to cry. And I refuse to cry. But the statement I liked is there's many roads to follow to get to Christ. And we just urge you to get on one
Yeah,
road.
many-
Get
Yeah.
on one road.
Yes, so I
Yeah.
thought that was brilliant.
Find your road.
Yes.
Well, the vote to reaffirm the United Church commitment to reconciliation and building right relationship, that vote was an overwhelming majority.
Yes.
So clearly the will of this court is to take the next steps. But what does happen next? After folks leave Corner Brook and go home, what would you like to see happen out of this general council when people go back to their home congregations, their home presbyteries? Will you be doing anything? Bay Quinte Conference, Rodney, in particular, as a
for
result
sure.
of this?
Absolutely. I thought the video presentation is a great place to share with anybody who still hasn't heard about, and there's still people who haven't heard really about residential schools. So, and certainly to read and wrestle with those 94 calls to actions, and there's some great resources, addressing actions we can take as, as church members, as community, as Canadians. So to think about that and really, embrace one of them, embrace it as a path to walk towards reconciliation. They've painted this mountain for us, and it's up, to us to walk it. So, I hope commissioners would just take the richness of this morning's, presentations and this historic moment in our history as a church, as a country, and just live into it.
And the wonderful thing about technology today is it's not just commissioners, because everything from this morning was live streamed.
Yes.
It's on the internet.
That's great.
People in our congregations across the country can go online and they can see what we experienced this morning. So.
Well, my girlfriend was texting me, tell me what's going on. So it was rather fun.
Now, you are going on to the Aboriginal Ministries Council,
I am.
relatively new in
Yes.
in the United Church family, 6 years old. What hopes will you bring to the council out of this experience here at General Council?
Okay, prior to coming on to the Aboriginal Ministries, I was a member of Kairos for 6 years.
Oh,
Yes, with the Aboriginal Council. So, of
Yes.
course, I was co-chair there for 6 years. And so it'll just bring on continued relationships around First Nations people.
and that call in the proposal today to work collaboratively with Kairos,
Yes.
with ecumenical groups, with secular groups, that sounds like something you've already been involved in and you see value in
Yes.
continuing.
You see, I not only work for the All Native Circle Conference, but I also work for Kipling Windthorst. So, hi, you guys.
And hello, Bob Cajun. Little shout out there.
Okay, I just wanted to reiterate that when I do my services at Kipling Windthorst, I'm always lifting up Native spirituality as well as the lectionary readings. So
Yes.
it's always been balanced, and so
Yes.
I find it very and it's an easy transition, because there's nothing really that's different between Native spirituality and the lectionary readings. It's just that we see it much deeper, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Now, we spent a lot of time this afternoon on the comprehensive review, a lot of change in a lot of places, heading in many directions. How do we as a church stay connected and keep the conversation going when all of this change is unfolding?
I have to admit, I'm pretty scared. I'm reading all of this, but to see it get into place, I did go to a wonderful sermon where they were talking about, the phoenix coming out of the ashes, and so I hold that up as kind of a hope for years to come, and it's exciting to be part of the builders, that are doing the foundation for this, and I'm excited. I guess I should say that.
I'm exhausted.
Oh, well.
That was, it was a lot of work and
yeah.
tough issues. But
And it's not over yet.
No, it's 7:30 and we haven't had supper yet. But, and yeah, full day tomorrow. So today's been a really long day. But I think, we'll go home and we'll tell stories about the faithful work that's been done. We'll, continue to encourage people to get together. Like I know our presbytery, there's some real relationships there, and it's looking like, we're not going to be mandated to get together, but, voluntarily, like those clusters can form. Still a lot to be decided tomorrow about, these regional councils and how large they'll be, but we've really been invited to, to not be afraid and just to trust the implementation. So we've been working on the broad concept. I think we are going to be, a nimble denomination, like I want to say canoe, a nimble canoe, and we're going to be,
Well, actually,
paddling
canoe is a good
together.
one, Yes.
You know, this conversation is far from over. But
No.
as you said, we haven't had supper yet. So I want to thank you both, Rodney Smith-Merkley, Janet Sigurdson. Thank you so much.
I just wanted to add that the ANCC and the Aboriginal Ministries would be there helping the people within to come into the canoe. And we won't be pushing anyone out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I'll keep paddling with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Wonderful.
Thank you.